Everybody. Tom Judd here. Today we're with Andres Oliver from Bolivia, who's actually studying currently in Rome. But Andres, tell us about what you're up to and tell us about clinical engineering in Bolivia.
Hello, Tom. Hello, everyone. As Tom said, my name is Andres Oliver. I'm from Bolivia. I'm just studying here a master in telemedicine in Rome that I just finished it. I'm glad for that. So the thing about clinical engineering in my country is really a relative new thing because it has its struggles, it has the difficulties, but so on at the date we got expecting more of it, more professionals, more work, more development through the time passed by. So that's like a really good opportunity for us to take like the care of not only medical equipments, instead we can see like the perspective of the clinical engineer as a really important person to develop a good infrastructure, a good structure, and to organize all the personnel or the medical personnel in a health institution.
So Andres, how many clinical engineers in Bolivia? Are they mostly on the public side or on the private side?
They're different. I think we are more in the public side, because the private it has a little bit of not well development, because they used to contract people who are like electricians or have a specialty with that. But Tom, this was a good thing just because electricians wouldn't have the ability to communicate with the person, with the medical persons. So they just were searching for some biomedical engineers, and it was like a really good start for that. So on, the private sector has grown up with this. There are more like job offers for biomedical engineers who have some experience in the public side, because in the, like in the public, in my country, the public part are the ones who contract huge amounts of money to develop an hospital, to incorporate new medical equipment. So the private part wants to like be part of it. And there are some cases that some of my colleagues were working in a public side and in a private side. But that's like a really, I don't know how to call it. I don't know if it's a good thing, but that was like the door or the window to open for more of us, for more clinical engineering.
So in La Paz, there were how many colleagues for you? I know you've been in Rome for a couple of years, but
yeah, in the main cities of Bolivia that are Santa Cruz, Cochabamba, and Bolivia, we can expect that a year maybe, I will like take a guess, maybe are like 10 or 20 biomedical engineers who are graduating. And that's a good thing. The only cities that have the career of biomedical engineer are La Paz and Cochabamba. I know that they have projects to Santa Cruz to make like another part of another area of the universities to take care of it. But anyway, in this Tom, in the other cities of my country, they were like trying to reach for more people to get involved in the hospital area, because they were giving like some courses, some attendances, some like group, how can I say, like some experience validated by the government, so they can apply to know more things, not just for electricians, just to know about more things about how can an engineer can communicate with the medical part.
very good. I've heard you talk about, a little bit about the numbers of people and the locations, and a little bit about education. I think I heard you speaking about. Has there been a movement to create a national clinical engineering society?
There were like congress about it. For example, in my university in Cochabamba, They were reaching people from Mexico, from Uruguay, from Brazil to go and just make a little presentation. No, not a little, just a presentation for the students there in my university. One of those persons who was like a really a really important guest was, for example, Franco Simini, who is an Uruguayan guy who has a lot of experience and has a really a huge vision of the career. And but I'm talking like this when I was like in the second year maybe of the career. It was a long time ago. I really don't know what are the next Congress or International Congress, but for example, to new students, they are always trying to invite them for the Congress in Uruguay or in Argentina, for example.
Very good, and perhaps a lot of them were at that Argentine, the SABI conference this February in Uruguay, and that Franco sponsored. Um, let me mention a couple other quick things here before we conclude. One is there've been a lot of Bolivian colleagues that have participated in our webinars this year, whether it was the WHO webinars on COVID-19 or the competency webinars by CED. So I think you should be encouraged, and I will inform you further about some of your colleagues that have participated so that you can be in contact with them. The last thing, though, I want to mention is of course, this is around Global CE Day. And, you know, what is clinical engineering today? And of course, it's this historical life cycle management of medical devices you were talking about, but it's also digital health. And then there's people like you that are, you know, leaving and coming back, you know, later with these degrees in telemedicine. I mean, talk about your vision for how Bolivia might be using digital health.
Nowadays, with this pandemic situation that the world is passing by, it was like a huge, huge step of it. I know that some insurance companies, I know that some hospitals, for example, the government are applying for this digital health or remote consultation. It's been like really, really growing up with this. With my expectations of this is that this will not stop. This will not close, will this not stop, and it will be growing by year that it came. And I know that maybe it should be like more in my country to develop more for this digital health. I think that the university will change all the subjects that are taking. There will be more congress, there will be seminars, there will be a lot of courses of it that people should know and will be interested about it. It's not like they ought to do it, but and somehow they have to know how to develop more this situation, this digital health.
It's a very exciting opportunity. I'm glad you're on the leading edge of it, Andres, and I look forward to hearing great things coming from you as you return to Bolivia in the future and help make a difference in healthcare in your country. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Tom. Anytime you want.
Appreciate it.